Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from ACCUPLACER Tutoring. I hope you guys are having a lovely Friday, or maybe in some parts of the world, a great Saturday. So, what we are doing today, we're working on inductive reasoning. Okay, so we're going back into a little bit of geometry, and this is every time someone says, when are we ever going to use this in real life? I'm going to show you. You do this every blessed day. So, inductive reasoning, we are actually taking a look at, you're basically making unproven, so you haven't done anything. So, unproven conclusions based on your observation. So you're making decisions. You're trying to figure out what is the pattern, or as we like to say, the conjecture. What is that pattern that's happening? So that's your inductive reasoning. So it's your process of finding that pattern. So you notice when you look at a shirt, if you like a shirt because you like the pattern, you like the styles. When you look at a certain, I don't want to say outfit, but when you are basically looking at someone's attitude, like, oh, you must be cranky or you're hangry, because all of a sudden your eyes are twitching, you're looking like you're growling, and at the same time, you got a stank attitude. So when you're looking at all those patterns, you're like, oh, this is when you're hangry. Or even when a baby is all of a sudden, you're like crying. You know, babies cry for every blessed thing. But then there's always certain cries. And the mother would be like, oh, he's hungry, that's his cry. Oh, he's injured, that's his cry. Oh, he just don't like your face, that's his cry. So anything of those retrospects, that's what we're going to be looking at. So as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap on up. I'm only going to be here for roughly an hour, at most an hour and 15 minutes. So we're really just going to hit hard on these. And if I do have a little bit of time, I'm going to kind of get into the condition statements if I have. But I think I'm definitely going to be doing conjunction and disjunction after this. So this is alive. If you're currently taking geometry, this is what you're seeing first semester. If you haven't been in school yet, guess what? You're going to see this within the first 1 or 2 weeks of school. And if you are taking, say, the ACCUPLACER, you'll probably see this. You'll definitely see maybe a couple of these on the SAT, ACTs. But if you're just like, it's all right, I'll skip this one and go to the next one, that's perfectly fine. Because as I always say, as soon as I can find my sheet, where did it go? It was just here. I was going to say, then you can easily, here it is. This is what happens when you clean your desk off. You're like, oh, where did it go? So if you can't stick around, definitely take a look at my YT. If you go to ACG Math Tutoring, you can do these 5 things I would love for you to do. And then you can see I'm working on yesterday's live. It's still uploading. Still. So that's the reason why I'm like, look, I have to keep my lives nice and relatively short, so it won't take us forever and a day to get these uploaded. Now, also, if you're looking for a private tutor or a small tutoring group, just let me know. And if you're going to like some of my books, this is exactly where you can go and get the books. All right? So, as you guys are coming on in, go ahead and tap on up. We're almost there. We're almost at our 1K, so we can kind of get started. But I'm going to zoom in with the definition just a hair. And I'm also going to see who is here. Oh, thank God it's good. Hello. How are you? Thank you so much for coming on in. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and joining. Even if you're here for just a little bit of time, I greatly appreciate it. Hey, Miss Certainly, how are you? Thank you so much for sharing the live, okay, and also the gift. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so I know when you guys are looking at some of my lives, you're probably like, all right, this girl is wasting her time, or, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need. Okay, this is something that you can get the lives and get the information for if you're a homeschool parent and you just need some assistance to help you with breaking down concepts. Please go to all of my lovely videos. You can go here and you can also subscribe to that channel. Guess what? It's a free subscription. Right now, if you want to subscribe to this channel, you can. Again, I'm still learning the whole tactics, but you never know. Something might come up. I know one of the things that comes up is I definitely do a discounted rate for my tutoring sessions for my TikTok families. So, you just have to basically tell me what is your TikTok handle. I'll definitely take a look to make sure it's legit. I've already had a couple people that wanted to fake the funk. Guys, it's math. Calm down. You don't need to lie. All right? So, hey, Fairy Math Tutor, how are you? Okay, welcome on in. Hey, Lynette, how are you? All right, so if anything, our inductive reasoning, we're basically looking at patterns. And as I said earlier, you guys see patterns all the time. So it's not necessarily something that's going to be really deep, but you never thought that this is actually considered math. So let me give you one example. Let me slide this bad boy over. And let's keep it nice and simple. So if we have 2, 4, I think you guys can see that. 6, 8. What's the next term? Okay, put it in the chat. What's the next term? What do we got? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, blank. All right, Deb says 10. Thank you, Deb. Eris Fire is saying 10. User, all of that is saying 10. Okay, oh, another user. Okay, this user I know because I recognize the 5166. Okay, welcome back. The saying 10. Okay, so the answer is 10. But what is the pattern? Okay, what is the pattern? I know you're like, Audrey, that's it? I'm like, yeah, but there's more. I promise, there's more. Okay, Eris Fire is saying I'm adding 2. Yes. Okay, so for me to go to 2 to 4, I add 2. To that 2 times. 2's tables, you can say 2. So like 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4. You can say that. But most of the time, it is going to be increasing by 2. All right. So if I have this example, let's see. What's the next term? Okay, thank you, Jerry. No problem. Hey, Amber, how are you? What is my missing term? Okay, so Deb is saying 10,001. Jerry is saying 10,001. Aries is saying 10,001. Thank you for the comment, Aries. All right, thanks, Amber. All right, so when you looked at it, first we had 11. Then they added 0. Then they added 2 zeros. Now they're going to add 3 zeros into the lick of it. All right. So how about, you're probably like, oh, this is easy, Audrey. What else do you got? Okay, let's try this. All of a sudden the heart stopped. did everyone die? Is everyone all right? Aries 5 saying E. Okay, user 5166. Amber is like, say what? Okay. Deb is saying E and then N. Okay. Miss Certainly is saying, I have no idea. Here's the hint. You count them with your fingers and toes. Or your fingers and toes can represent them. I think that'll be a lot better. Okay, Jared's saying E. Everybody's like, what? I got you, Jerry. Like, what? What happened? Like, how is everybody getting E? Like, what is it? I know, you're going to hate me as soon as you find out what the answer is. JB, you're saying O? Okay. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and then I'm going to reveal the answer. The suspense is killing you. I know. People nowadays don't have patience anymore. They all want to know the end of the movie. That's why I can't go to movies anymore. I just see I see the commercial, and I'm like, oh, I just saw the whole movie. Great. Oh, okay, so this person was, all right, yeah, great, okay, saved myself $20. Testing your brains and patience, yes. All right, so the answer is E, and this is why. They're all representing the first letter in a word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's see how many people hate me now. Nice. Oh yeah, I know. Right? I know. But it's patterns, my dears. It's patterns. Okay, how about one more, and then I'll do a math type pattern. Well, I am doing patterns. So let's say, I'll keep with letters. Okay. So ACEG. What is the missing term? Okay, user saying H. Deb is saying I. Sorry, okay. Okay, Amber saying I. Okay, Jonah. Hello, Jonah. Welcome back. Is saying H. Okay, user is saying B. Number one. Hello, Michael. Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay, so we're just looking at some inductive reasoning. So we're trying to figure out what is going to take this space. So we have A, C, E, G. What's going to take that space? So a couple people are saying I, a couple people saying H, and I have a B. And a number 1, I think. Or that's a number I. Oh, you're saying no, I. There we go. I know, I'm so quick. It's Friday. I actually took a nap today. What? What? I went to church. I took a nap today. Did some laundry. Had a tutoring session. Worked a little bit on the workbook, but I need to do a little bit more with it. And then I returned some emails. So, not too strenuous. It's not that. If you let us, not after the death threat that I had, Michael, I don't think I'm ever going to put my face up on here again. I don't feel like dealing with that. Because it's either I just do it like this, or I just don't do TikTok at all. And I think that would be not only crushing to me, but it'll be crushing to a lot of people. Not like saying I'm the shiznit or anything, but, I think. Yeah. I know, I'm a math person. And when I was showing my face, it's like, shut up. And then he mentioned my address. And he was like, I'll come to your house. I reported it to TikTok. And they didn't see anything wrong. Isn't that nice? So, yeah. We're just going to keep it the same old. I know, right? It's crazy. Yeah. That's why I was kind of like not... It was a combination of dad and that, and I wasn't sleeping, and yeah. So finally I was just like, screw it, I'm taking a nap. Because things are getting all kinds of crazy. Yeah. So, yeah. That's the best way that I can describe it. All right. So, no, I haven't seen them. And plus, I blocked that person and everything. So, I haven't seen them in my lives since then. So, but you know how you can just easily open up another live, but I haven't had any aggression since then. Yeah. And thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. So, for A, C, E, G, let's just think of the alphabet. So you have A, we're missing the B. C, we're missing the D. E, we're missing the F. G, we're missing the H. So that means this has to be I. All right. So it's almost like every other letter of the alphabet. So the reason why I'm doing all this is because there are patterns, okay? Just like anything in life, there's going to be a pattern. Sometimes you have to identify it, even you're multiplying by 2 or you're subtracting by 5. There's always some kind of pattern. But then we have to not only just fill in the spot, we had to basically prove. And the reason why we do the inductive reasoning, and I'm telling you, when I used to teach this, it was like a huge chunk of chapter 2, that we're getting you ready for proofing. Okay, now with proofing, you always have to explain, why is my answer I? Why is my answer E? Why is my answer 10,001? Why is my answer 10? And the reasoning is, what was the pattern? Okay, and then you're proving that pattern, and maybe even coming up with an equation to help put these patterns into play. So as we take a look, I'm going to have to shrink a little bit, guys. So sorry. As we're taking a look, we have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, and we need to figure out what would figure 4 look like? Okay. You feel smart now? Because you are smart, Annie. You are smart. Yeah, people are definitely weird. Definitely weird. But I can approach it one of two ways. I can just be scared like I've always been throughout my whole entire life, or I can just straight on face it. And I choose this time to face it. Hell, almost everything is trying to hurt you nowadays. The food's poisoned, your water's poisoned, everything's poisoned. You know? So, what do we got here? So, Michael's saying 8 boxes. Okay. Aries is saying 8 squares with 1 shaded in. Okay. We're saying 1 out of 8. We're saying 8 boxes, 2 rows, 4 squares across, gray in the bottom left. All right, Jerry. And he's saying 8 boxes, lower left blocked. Debbie says 1 of the blocks of 8. Amber is saying 1/8. All right. So we started off. Oops, where's my ruler? We had basically 2 rows, okay, 1 column. Then we had 2 rows and then 2 columns. Then we have 2 rows and then 3 columns. So guess what? We're going to have 2 rows and then, let's see, we can do it like this. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and we end up with 4. So come in here, come in here, and then about here. And like you all said, this bottom left will be shaded. So what you did was, because you could have done the shading anywhere, but you notice that as they increased a column, okay, as they increased a column, the box that was shaded was still on my bottom left. So like figure 5 will probably be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, but still 2 rows, and this box here is still going to be shaded. So it's like the increase is coming with the number of columns. So basically you had to I think usually from 2 to 3 that kind of gave me the hint. Because 1, I was like, okay, the bottom one's being shaded. But then I noticed when I looked at 2 and 3, that bottom left was going to keep its shade, but then I'm going to add another column. Okay? So now, excellent job, guys. So now, describe the pattern in the numbers -1, -4, -16, and -64. What is happening? Okay, so Aries Fire is saying multiplied by 4. Do we agree? Amber agrees with you. Okay, JB also agrees with you. Charles agrees with you. Michael agrees with you. Good. Okay, Annie agrees with you. Yes. So how did I start? I start with -1, and then I had to go from -1 to -4. I know a lot of us are probably like, oh, okay, well, that's going to be -3 because you're thinking of usually adding. And the reason why the first thing that we go through is addition is that's how we were taught from we were very little. We were taught how to add before we did subtraction. Then we learned how to multiply because that's fast addition before we got really into division. So if you ever stop and look at, even if you have little kids and you look at, a lot of people have books on adding. There's always things that you can add. And you see how good a baby feels when they add something to a conversation, even though it's gibberish, but they're adding to the conversation in their mind. Or when they want to share, they take from their plate to put on your plate. They see you smile. They're figuring that my action is bringing something positive. And when it brings something positive, then they feel positive. Notice how a child feels when you subtract, when you take away. They cry. Okay, they whine, they throw tantrums when you take the pacifier away from them. And then all of a sudden, the next time they see you, they're holding on to that pacifier like it's God's gift to everything. Okay, so they absorb. That's why we don't like to subtract. That's why we don't like to spend, because of our early experiences with numbers. Okay, so this inductive reasoning, finding patterns, we're kind of going back to our childhood because we're looking to see, it didn't cause any formulas. Yeah, we can come up with an equation, but we're just basically looking, observing, and then making a decision because whatever we're doing is working each and every time. And especially when you see things increasing. Okay? So yes, you are multiplying by 4, a positive 4 each and every time. All right, nice. See, you guys been doing inductive reasoning forever. We just, we didn't really give it a name, but that's basically what we're doing. All right. So if I change things up slightly, just a little slightly. Let me give you another brain twister. So let's try this one, and then I'll go to the next concept. Give me my next 2 missing terms. Everyone's like, you can't fool us now, Audrey, we know. Okay, so, and look at you. You're sitting here saying, I don't think I'm smart. Look at you, you're flying high. Okay, we got JJ from Eris, Deb, Amber, user 4119. I'm stopping right there because there's too many. All right, Michael, thank you so much for the gift. So Anne's even naming it June and July. Yes. We ready for you this time? Good, Jerry with the JJ, and then user 5166. Good with the J and J. Yes. So January, February, March, April, May, June, and July. All right. Understand logs? See, I'm not doing logs tonight. I'm not doing logs tonight. All right. Okay. So let's see how we are doing. So that's basically inductive reasoning with the conjecture. Now we're going to use what's called the conjugate. So go ahead, if you guys want to tap a little bit. Took you a bit to figure it out. Alright, so let me get my definitions down because I wasn't sure if I was going to reach this yes or no, but I should have known better. You guys are super intelligent. And let me not shake the camera for a sec. And while I'm doing this, what is one thing you've learned this week that you were like, oh, I never knew that? And if you're like, yeah, Audrey, I didn't learn anything. I was like, okay, so maybe what's one thing that you will take away from this week? Because sometimes I don't think we spend enough time to reflect on our weeks. We just say, it was blank. Okay. People are thinking. Okay, Annie, thanks so much for stopping in, and thanks for the follow. Okay. When you get overwhelmed, just do the thing in front of you, then do the next thing. I like that, Deb. Yeah. Too much of our society nowadays is always like, they praise the ones that can multitask. We're not supposed to multitask. I mean, speaking as a person that multitasks most of the time, but as I'm getting older, my body is like, no. We're not doing any of that. Learn to be more patient with others. Ooh, God bless you. Yeah, it's hard. That's hard. Because I know in my mind, I cursed out like 5 people today. just silly questions. I can't. I really, really can't. Like someone asked me if I could do personal or private tutoring, and I said yes. And the subject line was, do you do private tutoring? And I'm like, yeah. Yes, with self and others. Yes. Yes. Need patience. Patience is huge, especially this year. You're going to need patience. You're going to have to find your people who you can trust. That's going to be hard. You're going to also you need to find the people that's going to elevate you. And when I mean elevate you, I mean they're going to elevate you in front of their faces, like you're in front of their face, as well as if you're not in the room. Like they're always going to elevate you. That's like my quest. And I'm starting to get more people like that, which I love. But it took me, I want to say 50 years to finally find some of these people. But you always want to surround yourself with that. Okay. All right, so what we're working on next is called the conjunction. Remember, conjunction, junction, what's your function? Yes, all right. So what makes it a conjunction? We got that word and. Okay, so we're looking at a compound statement. I'm going to have to kind of slide back and forth a little bit. Okay. A compound statement formed by 2 statements with the word and. Now, this is the key part right here. Both of those statements must be true in order for it to be a true conjunction. So, say for example here, we have fish can swim and cats can bark. Is this a true conjunction? I don't know about you, but some of these Baltimore cats, I don't know. They're a different breed. Especially the stray cats that I now basically they have helmed me as their feeding queen. The one black cat, oh my gosh, I had to put them outside because they were too much for me today. I swear, he's a dog. I swear. If anyone comes, like if the male person comes and he's in the house, he'll stop and just look like the death stare. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I know, like in cartoons, yes. Right? No cats? Oh, that's okay. But this is definitely a no, okay? Cats are not barking as much as we can. All right. So fish can swim. That is a true statement. All right. But cats can bark. No, that is a false statement. So this is not a true conjunction. So if I wanted to say, during the day, the sun is out. It's night. I don't know. No, that's terrible. I'm trying to do if-then statements. So students are passing and the sun is out at 2 p.m. I don't know. I'm reaching here. But like if it's a sunny day, the sun is out is at 2 p.m. Yes, that's a true statement. Now, if it was a cloudy day, obviously, the sun may be out, but it won't be as bright and sunny. So we are trying to find some kind of conjunctions. It's also called, I'm going to put it here, a truth value. Okay? So, a truth value is a true or false nature of the statement. So it's like anytime you're trying to make decisions, like, okay, I have to walk to the gym. It looks like it's going to rain. Do I want to walk to the gym? You're making those decisions like, okay, it's going to walk. I don't have an umbrella. I don't feel like being out in the rain, but I do want to go to the gym. But do I really want to be hiking up in the rain, uphill, both ways? No, I don't. So you're going through a whole process, and sometimes this process is so quick. That's the one thing about the brain that is just amazing. And it's never like, okay, I learned everything about the brain in like one chapter. No, the brain always has so much mystery and secrets to it. And it's just amazing how two people born at the same date, the same time, could have completely different lives. Completely different. You have sets of twins in the same household. One's older, one's younger, obviously, because we're not having two kids being popped out at the same time. That's painful. I don't even want to think about that. Sorry. But raised in the same household, and their views as they're getting older will be completely different. So it's just amazing how our brain can actually do these things. So if we're looking at a conjunction, what's my function? Then what do you think is a disjunction? Yes, JB, good. So again, we do have a compound statement formed by joining two statements so with the word or. So conjunction is and, disjunction is or. And with the disjunction, only one, okay, not many, only one statement must be true. Okay. The sun is shining or it's raining. Only one of those statements need to be true. Here in Maryland, right now the sun's going down, so the sun's not shining, but we're supposed to be getting rain. Okay? Or there might be in the different parts of the world. I love it when they always have these problems, and I'm like, well, everyone's not in the same situation. You know, so some people would say corn is a fruit or apples grow on vines. Did you know that corn is considered a fruit? Sometimes I forget about that. Okay. So if we got those or statements in there, that will be our disjunction. All right. So I dug up. Like when I say I dug up, I mean I dug up one of my old quizzes that I created. Like I literally had to blow the dust off of it. Literally had to blow the dust off of it. And my whole thing is, this is what we used to do back in the day, kids. Hi. This is when teachers used to make their own quizzes and assessments. Ooh. Maybe this should be in the Smithsonian. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay? But if we take a look, right? This is the whole thing. So this is kind of like do a summarization of everything that we just talked about. So if we want to find our sequence, so we have 1, 3, 6, and 10. First, I want to know what the next number is, and then I want to know what is the pattern. Okay, so Kai is saying 15. Do we agree? Right? Okay, not that far back. We had Xerox machines. I remember because I was the one that always had to unjam it. I can smell it right now, that blue ink paper. Yes. So good Aries with 15, Amber 15, Jerry 15, Deb 15. Hey, Neek, how are you? 15. Sweetie Pie with 15. Good. Okay. How did we figure out our pattern? How did we figure out our pattern? Because it didn't look like it was a consistent thing that was going on. Good. Okay, so Kai is saying +2, +3, +4, and then we will have our +5. So if we did our +2, 1 + 2 gave us a 3. Then we had +3. 3 + 3 gives us 6. Then we had our +4. 6 + 4 gives me 10. So that means this had to be +5. And 10 + 5 gives us our 15. Excellent. Okay, so another way of saying it. Good, Deb. Add one more digit each time. Yes. So if this is my first term, this is my second term, my third term, my fourth term, that means we're adding 1, okay, to the previous term. Okay, if this is the first term, we add 1, so that gives me my 2. This is my second term, add 1 to it, that'll be my plus 3. My third term, add 1, that'll be my plus 4. Excellent. So it gave you a little time to figure out number 2. We got 2, 5, 10, and 7. Okay, T-Rex. Hey, T-Rex. I haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome back. T-Rex is saying 26. Aries is saying 26. Quad Money saying 26. Okay, Kai 26. Deb 26. Amber 26. Good. What is the pattern? Jerry is saying 26. Okay. So Aries is saying 3, 5, 7. Yes. So if we're adding 3, 2 plus 3 gives me 5, plus 5. 5 plus 5 gives me 10, plus 7. 10 plus 7, 17. So we got our plus 9. Good. Good. Plus 9, Michael. There you go. Nice. Kaya, thank you. All right, awesome. So now let's take a look at number 3. How'd I get? Ooh, let's switch it up. 2, 5, 7, 12, 19. Okay, Quad Money is saying 31. Do we agree? Quad Money is the quick. Okay, Michael's saying add previous number to current to get next. Okay, yes with the 31. All right, got 2 people. Need 1 more for confirmation. All right, so Deb, there we go. T-Rex, there we go. Is that Lorena? Good. Aries saying yes. Can't participate in work. I'm getting ready to leave work. I'll be listening though. Okay, not a problem. Thank you so much. Yep, so if we add those 2, we will get this answer. Then if we add these 2, we will get this answer. And if we add these 2, we will get this answer. And that means if we add these 2, we will get the next one in line, which gives me 31. There you go. All right, how about ADGJ? ADGJ. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, Nick saying 5, M. Well, I don't know how I got 5. Okay, Kaya M, Aries M. Hey, Ryan. Ryan saying N. Skip 2 letters. Okay, thanks for the follow. Deb saying M. Ryan's in between M or N. Michael saying M. Okay, JB saying M. All right. So we're skipping 2 letters. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Okay, you're correct. It's every 3rd letter. There you go. Okay, so it is going to be M. Because you got KL before you get to M. M comes before N. Okay. Yeah, we just kind of went 1 extra there, Quad. just want one extra. We got it. Okay. Then you go to the next ones with Michael saying P and S. Okay. So now, what is the next term? Sorry, got a little crazy. 3, -3, 6, -6, 9, -9. Amber saying 12. Do we agree? Okay, Deb also saying 12. Okay, Aries is saying 12. When I see 3 or more, that's telling me you got your 12 and then -12. So we got our 12. So nice. Good job, guys. See? All right. So we're basically looking at what? The 3 times tables, one's being positive, one's being negative. Right? There you go, Faith. Thank you. All right, Kaya. Good. All right. So you do these things all the time. When you're reading a recipe, there is a certain pattern. There's certain things that needs to be mixed at certain times. When you are making a decision on your outfits, because eventually you're going to move from this to what's called combinations and permutations. Okay, you see that in statistics or data analysis, really. And then you're really taking in, like, all right, the counting principle, like how many different ways, like say if you go to Five Guys, I think some of you guys know what Five Guys is. It's a burger joint that has so many different burgers. There's so many different ways. There's so many different toppings, okay? Raw and fried, right? And you can basically, we can figure out like how many different ways a person can have their hamburger, even with nothing on it. Like nothing, just bread and meat. I actually dated someone like that. I'm surprised if he's not in jail right now because I don't get that. Like no ketchup, no mustard, no mayo, just bread and meat. Jesus. Like, I can pick them, can I? All right. So basically, Audrey is not dating ever again. She's done because her picker is wrong. All right. Yes, it's just 12 because I just wanted just the next term, not the next 2. So it's just going to be 12. All right. So now, figuring out our pattern. Okay. Okay, good. So now we're figuring out our pattern. So taking a look at our arrows. Where should the arrow point next? There we go. So Kaya's saying it's going to be pointing downwards. There you go. Yeah, you don't have to get too fancy, but if you can, that'll be fun. Okay, so Debbie's saying down, Amber saying down, Michael saying down. Okay. Right? So basically our graph or our arrow is spinning counterclockwise. So that means this bad boy is going to be pointing downwards. Okay? Now, taking a look at number 7. Let me unzoom so you can see everything. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay, so we're looking at this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a hexagon. Years ago, before the 50s, it used to be called a sexagon because in Europe, 6 is sex. So, but you know us, that would be a little too risque. The youth will go crazy. So what we're going to do, we're going to call it a hexagon. All right, fun fact. All right, so good. What's going on with this? What's happening? I see you, T-Rex. Thank you. I missed you. What do you think? Oh, Rick James is back? Oh, stop it, Rick James. So it's a little toughy, huh? Okay, tumbling to left to his next, okay? So the line will be vertical, okay? Starting to repeat. Face. Okay, tumbling to left to its next face. Okay. So basically, it looks like it's going to repeat what's going on in that first one. So like when you have, oh, this is going to be hilarious. Let's see if Audrey can screw this up. She's doing a great job of it. Okay. So first we have like the sideways slant, and then we have the other slant, so which is coming back to the up and down. Okay, so this is a repeat. So repeat of number 1. Okay. All right. So now I want to kind of jump down to the bottom because we can have fun with 8 and 9 all we want. Okay? Yep, it looks exactly the same as the first. So now we're going to get, I'm about to like right off the table. So now we're going to kind of look at our statements. So it says, use the following statements to write each of the following, right? So we have a P statement and we have a Q statement. Now, when you start getting into the deductive, the inductive, and also the condition statements, you're going to see these P and Q statements quite often. So, a conjugate. So, remember, the conjugate, conjunction, junction, or conjunction. I'm not saying conjugate because I'm thinking of something else. So, the conjunction, junction, what's my function? Conjunction, junction is when you have and. So, we're going to make this into an and statement. How would I write this out? And I know this is going to be a lot of typing on your end. How can we turn these two statements into one and statement? So P function or P statement says it is snowing, and the Q statement says there will be no dance. Okay. So Kai is saying it is snowing and there will be no dance. Deb says the same thing. JB says it is snowing and there will be no dance. Excellent job, guys. Okay. And I love how my students always likes these, but if English is your second language, it's a struggle. Because you're already trying to figure out what people are saying, and here we come with if-then statements and, all right, put it together, and you're like, what? So I always feel bad for my English learners, but I try. So we just try to do things step by step. Okay. So if we're doing a disjunction, what will be a disjunction? There you go. User 5166. I like it. The P and Q. There it is. There you go, Michael. Nice. And the dance is canceled. Right? My case. Okay. Disjunction. What would it be? And we're still using the P and the Q statements. In disjunction, what are we using for disjunction? What word are we using? Not but. JB is saying or, Deb or, Michael or. Yeah, not so, but or. Yes. Okay, for disjunction, all we need is one of those statements to be true. So we could write this out, and I'm going to be lazy because I am. It is snowing or there will be no dance. Another way of writing the statements will be your P or Q. Okay, you guys put a statement like that as well. Now, condition statements I didn't introduce tonight, but I'm going to let you know. Condition statements means if, then. We do this all the time. If you put your finger in an electric socket, you're going to get the shock of your life. If you ask for anything on the shelf after I just told you don't ask for nothing, don't look at nothing, don't want nothing, then I'm going to pack you guys up, leave everything in the cart, and put you back in the car, and we're going to go home. Okay? If you stay up all night playing video games and you don't study for your test, then you're going to fail your test. We do if-then statements all the time. We do conditional statements when we're making decisions. We're trying to figure out which way we want to go. What do we want to basically decide on? Yes. Good. Right. True. True. But 11 doesn't. Right. Because it's snowing. Or there'll be no dance. Exactly. It's not going to make sense. Because we just want to know one of the two has to be a true statement. That's all. And I know right now, it's not snowing. There won't be a dance. Okay. Why? Then all of a sudden we're talking about something else. All right. Yep, and we can say that if it's snowing, then there will be no dance. So we got our if, then we got our then. Okay. And if we want to shorten it, it's going to be your if, P, then Q. Now, one more thing, then we're basically done. So we have this little wave in front of the P. This wave means negation. And I've talked about negation before. When we're trying to make something negative, we're trying to do the opposite. So they're negating the P statement. So if the P statement is, it is snowing, what do you think is the negation of it is snowing? Exactly. So is that least? Okay. It is not snowing. Not snowing. It is not snowing. Not snowing. Hey, Jumpy. How are you? Okay, Kai, is not snowing. Right. Okay, so when you're negating, all you basically do is putting the word not in there. Okay, that's it. Okay. Good. So when we're looking at these things, and I think possibly tomorrow we're going to be looking at more of the condition statements, especially the if-then and the different types, and then we're going to go back into algebra, okay? Because I know some students were starting to do geometry, and this is the one thing, and it's one of those tongue twisters and brain twisting, but it just kind of stimulates the brain a little bit. You know, anytime, even arguments, that's mathematics. You have to have some kind of fact to argue. That's why I love seeing students that are like fighting for like, well, I think my grade should be higher. Why? I know I didn't do all the work and all this stuff, but I did well on that one project that was literally 1% of your grade. I know, but I should be passing with an A. No. Like just all together, no. You're basically telling me why I shouldn't touch your grade. Thank you for clarifying it for me. You know, hey Danny, I know it's hilarious, but by having those reading, those reasons, having those facts, being able to put them together, there might be two statements that we need to combine together. That is a conjunction. Conjunction, junction, what's our function? If we're having like this or that type of scenarios, and we know one of those scenarios is definitely true, we have a disjunction. Disjunction with the word or. And then the condition statements is if-then. We talked a little bit about negation, but then we had a lot of fun with our inductive reasoning. Okay? I know, we're doing a short one tonight because I really feel like I want to go back to bed. It was nice sleeping. Not depression, you just want to sleep, you know? You just want to just knock out and just do nothing. Okay? Math is everything. Thank you. Math is reasoning. And a lot of people want to keep it separate. And I know math has its own language, but some of us, we speak that language on a constant basis. Just because we don't have equations, we're talking about equations all the time. But yeah, everything around us is mathematics. All right. Okay. For your goal. Thank you. All right, so everyone, this is what we're gonna do. I love the follows. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you for tapping. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for staying in. I know for some people this is like, this is above my pay grade and I'm gonna leave. But here's the sad thing is, they do this all the time. Not because they leave because it gets hard. It's because they don't understand that they do a lot of this stuff on a daily basis, but they just don't give themselves the time to really savor it. Okay? But I'm glad you guys were here for it. We're going to probably do condition statements tomorrow. And I might, huge might, come on twice tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be on at 7 p.m., but I'm going to see if I can come on during the day as well. Okay? Need to sell some of my tutoring, sell some of my books, and then also kind of talk a little bit more of some basic concepts that we can take and run with. All right? All right, so speaking of books, if you liked my notebooks, okay, I feel like I'm always selling to the same people, but I end up getting a new person every time. This is my math notebook for my pre-algebra and algebra students. The reason why I have that, so I have all my notes that we've done in here. As you can tell, you can basically tape things in. You can have a section for your formulas, you have a section for your steps, and room for you to actually put a lot of your work down. If you want to tape something in, you can tape it to the grid side, and then you can use the dotted side to summarize what you just did. But the reason why I have this as pre-algebra, algebra 1 is based off of the resources in the very back. So we have a factors chart that goes from 1 to 200. We have the terminology for certain operations: add, subtract, multiply, divide, equals, and inequalities, as well as the properties of real numbers, which that will definitely come about. And as we start advancing, squares and square roots, as well as cubes and cube roots, listed all the way to 15. Then we have like our rules of integers, just in case we forget them. They're all listed here. Inequalities, interval notations, order of operations, both in the U.S. and also international waters. Then we have properties of exponents, Then we have linear and quadratic equations. We have fractions operations, decimals operations, place values, measures of central tendencies, arithmetic and geometric sequence, which will be the next part after we do all the inductive reasoning. That always brings that up next. Graphing, linear equations, system of inequations, system of inequalities. Area and perimeter, all those formulas. More formulas for volume and surface area, as well as the conversion chart. All that in the very back. And this is exactly designed for those that are taking pre-algebra, algebra, or algebra 1. Even those that are taking college classes, those intermediate algebra classes, this would be perfect for you so you can keep all your notes together. Because I know it will get overwhelming. I think some of you guys, you have classes starting on Monday. So you can definitely take your notes down, but it just helps organize everything. So this is the cover for it. If you are interested in purchasing one, you can go to here. It's my personal bookstore. I tried to do TikTok shop. I wasn't getting notifications. Orders were getting late. I didn't like it. At all. But if you do need any private tutoring, definitely hook me up or look me up. Respond to me either here, or there's a button at the bottom that says Service Plus. You can contact me through there. If you click on that and just send me a message, it will go directly to my email address. So I can actually contact you through there. Alrighty. You see the first page we did again. It's a screenshot. Alright. So that's all it. That's basically it. And then if you're also a lefty, I do have left-handed notebooks as well. So you can go to that same place. So here's an example of the left-handed notebook. Notice it turns to the left. You can get the same exact things. You get the same resources, which are in the very back, just like the right-handed notebooks. Same sequence and everything. Yep. Trust me, I understand. Where you defined everything for the front page, it's right there. Oh, the other page. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Awesome. All right, everyone. So we're going to continue on this journey, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. and possibly like 1, maybe 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay? I will try to make an announcement just to make sure. Yep. Yeah. Yep. But if anything, give me some time, because if you guys are just getting here, because if you go here and you go here, you'll be able to see what's called TikTok Lives. So all the recordings of my TikTok Lives from February the 2nd until not last night, because last time I checked last night was still uploading. And you can check out all the lives through there. Okay? I'm not going to take a nap. I'm going to bed. Done. It should. Should be my latest one. Okay. If not, then I'm going to have to take a double take, because the left-handed books is not going to be on the A. Because the A they don't do left-handed books. So if you want the lefty book, you're going to have to go here. Okay. Alright. So, night, Pierre. So I'm going to take it. Alright. Well, good night, Deb. Good night, everyone. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to message me. But please, message me. Don't just say hi. What else do you need? Tell me. Tell me a little summarization. Don't have to be a novel like War and Peace. Just give me a little bit of something of how can I help? Okay? What is it that I can help you with? Okay? All right. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you so much for coming in. Take care and have a great night.